currency is muscle and attitude.
There's a lot of pressure to have a six-pack in the gay community.
I've walked into gay clubs and immediately felt like I wasn't welcome.
I've been told I'm too ugly to be gay.
Being gay, I've always felt a pressure to look ripped. And it's something that my gay friends say they've secretly struggled with too. Having big muscles and a six-pack in the community is just seen as something we should all be working towards. I've been hearing from gay men across the UK about the extreme things they've been putting themselves through just to fit in. So, in a community that has fought so long for acceptance, are we being accepting enough of each other? The LGBT Foundation says gay men are much more likely to have body issues than straight men. Lewis is an influencer and knows all about the pressures of looking good. He's got a big following in the gay community.
Sometimes I'll post something about my personality or something that I'm up to and someone will be like, literally I've had comments like, people don't care about your personality, why are you doing this? And I'm like, wow. A bit harsh.
So yeah. They only want to see the body.
So, yeah, just not very pleasant really, but it is what it is. Some people are like that.
You've basically achieved body goals that most people would have. So do you still feel pressure to keep up a certain type of look? Yeah, definitely. I feel like I need to maintain it. And if I don't go to the gym for a while, I start to get really anxious about it. I'm sitting down no. But yeah, I feel like there's definitely pressure to maintain it. I've come to Manchester to speak to someone who almost died trying to get the perfect body.
More than once I've been told I'm too ugly to be gay, as in that there's some rule that says gay men have to be massively attractive. I kind of think that they were the seeds that were being sown into me about what I needed to be in order to be loved or accepted or have sex.
Jake started taking steroids regularly to try and get bigger.
From working out and going to the gym, I got to a certain point and I couldn't get any bigger, and I got it into my head that I needed to be bigger. Certain guys got more likes, more hearts, more woofs, more whatever, whatever the social media platform is, whatever the sign of approval was. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just start taking them, and just do it low dose to see what happened.
Jake was rushed to hospital after taking steroids. So you were in hospital and you had heart failure as a result of steroid use?
Yeah, I had severe heart failure, not heart failure, severe heart failure. We're talking literally days away from dying. If I'd done one more injection of the steroids or gone to the gym a couple of more times, I quite likely would have died.
And was it worth it?
No, it wasn't worth it at all, no. Now I look back, it hasn't been worth it, A, because I've lost quite a lot of the bulk I built up anyway, and for my health as well, my mental health and my physical health, it just hasn't been worth it at all.
The idea that gay men should look a certain way isn't a new thing. This archive has copies of gay magazines going back decades. I'm meeting a former editor of one of the UK's most popular ones. Okay, so let's have a look through some previous gay magazines.
Goody.
So, oh, that's a nice one.
Harry, yeah, always popular.
Okay, so we're seeing pecs, we're seeing six packs. Now, this is everywhere. I mean, if I go onto a dating app, I'm seeing this. If I go onto Instagram, I'm seeing this. We're constantly now reminded that we don't look like this as gay men. Absolutely.
I mean, when I was editing Attitude, you sometimes get these conversations, people saying, oh, you're enforcing this body image idea. But the place where I saw it the most was on dating apps, is on Instagram. And it's come to the point where I have to unfollow quite a lot of gay men on Instagram, because when you start following gay men, the algorithm starts sending you even more, and you're just bombarded with these amazing bodies on beaches looking perfect, and I don't look like that, and you just get it the whole time. It's like being in the Twilight Zone, like being attacked by these bodies. So
who are you following now?
It's a kind of, cats and cats and cakes and kittens. That makes me feel good.
Why is this such a gay issue?
I think it's really important to remember that there is unprecedented pressure on everybody across the board to present themselves in a kind of visual way. But I think you can't take out of this discussion the fact that LGBT people grow up shamed, not able to be themselves. If you don't like yourself, that manifests as not being happy with the way you look. When you're told growing up you're not okay, you're not good enough, you go, okay, well, I'm going to be better. I'm going to have the best clothes, the best job, the best education, the best boyfriend, the best body. And then when you get this big constituency of people who are all very perfectionistic and also forced onto apps, which is kind of the only way, the primary way that we meet each other. We can't meet each other socially in the way straight people do as easily. It just creates this intense pressure where the bar is always raising to the point where it can really affect people's lives.
To try and change things, the LGBT charity Stonewall is calling on the media as a whole to feature more diverse body types. But it's not just the media that's affecting people. Greg loves getting involved in pride events, but thinks that the LGBT community needs to change.
Oh my goodness. If I search #gay on Instagram, this is literally what I'm seeing.
I mean, all of these photographs are at the end of a course of steroids. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't manage to maintain that body because it's not maintainable.
So you're quite big on the LGBT scene and you go to these pride parties and different events. These are celebrations of love and acceptance. Like, why do you need to take steroids to look good for these events? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, I can only speak for me. I never fitted in when I was a kid, and I always felt like I was the odd one out. And it's really easy to see on the gay scene in a big place like London what sells and what works. And the currency is muscle and attitude.
What has gay dating apps and the impact of needing to look a certain way, what has that meant for you?
I don't use gay dating apps now, and mainly because I don't have the body that I used to have. But there's something about taking your clothes off, especially when you're not in the body you're used to, that was just too much for me. And I would just rather not have had sex for 2 years till I got my body back.
The pressures Greg feels to look good are also making people want to go under the knife. The British Association of Aesthetic and Plastic Surgeons told me most of the men that get cosmetic procedures are gay, and they're getting operations because of the impact of social media.
So that's what it was. And I remember
James had surgery after being shamed at a hookup.
Took my t-shirt off and he turned around to me and he said, nice arms though.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so it was pretty rough. I ended up having surgery and I took the decision to go and have an abdominoplasty, which is the medical term for a tummy tuck. But I definitely felt a sense of, like, I wasn't valid. I was an invader in the space. Because the idea in your head is that to be a gay man is to look like a Calvin Klein model.
Hearing so many bad experiences from gay men across the country has been really shocking. I always thought that the LGBT community would be one of the most accepting, but it seems like it might not be. We really need a bigger conversation about this.